And I'm going to record that. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, everybody. My name is Kim Danke. I am your Fast Track instructor. And this is what we do. Every single week on Sunday night at 8 p.m., we have a program overview. So this way we capture anybody who's new at the beginning of the week, and anybody that wants a refresh can just get this started on a Sunday night. And then we will have another live webinar tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Those are the only two live webinars for the week. And then Monday through Saturday, there's going to be a post in the Shibboleth new member Fast Track group. If you are on Facebook, you can ask to join that group. And so you can get a post, and it's a video of me showing you how to use the website. Our website is amazing, absolutely amazing. And so, but you do need to be shown how to use it. So there's videos of me showing you how to use it. Plus there's a little assignment, okay? I give you an assignment so that you can dig in, because this information is so important. It is worth focusing on. It is worth digging in so that you can learn it. So there's a little assignment, and there's going to be 14 little videos this week that I'd like for you to watch besides the video of me showing you how to use the website. These are the Fast Track videos. They take less than 1 hour to watch altogether. 1 hour to watch them, less than 1 hour. So they're easy to watch. There's a test at the end. Once you've taken that test, whether you take it before Saturday or whether you take it on Saturday, when, you know, because I break down the videos just in case you don't have time to sit and watch them all at one time. So I would love to see you take that test and earn that badge, and then post that badge in the new member Fast Track group and the Shibboleth Silver Level group. Show people that what you're doing, that you are serious about doing this program. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to do a program overview. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a simple food combining overview. So one of the things that I want you to do, if you are in the Shibboleth new member Fast Track group, I keep that group, or you might be in the Second Chance group. They're exactly the same. You don't really need to be in both groups. They're exactly the same, okay? But what I want you to do is I want you to go back all the way to the bottom of that group. I keep that group cleaned out of non-essential posts because I clean it out every Sunday and we start over. But I leave some posts in there that are important to you. For example, which groups that you need to be a member of on Shibboleth, because I'll find that people are a member of this group, but they never join the silver level, which is important, and they don't join the Shibboleth Fixed It group, which is important. So those links are in there, plus just some other meal plans are in there, so other meal plans. So I want you to go to the bottom of that group. You can go all the way to the bottom where it says B Shibboleth created this group. And then in the Second Chance group, I think it says Kim Danke created this group. But go all the way to that one and work yourself back up just to make sure you aren't missing anything, okay? That would be a great little research thing to do. So feel free to chat. If you have any questions, ask them along the way. I do get to talking along, and then I might not answer your question until the end, but ask it so you don't forget it. And then I'll answer it in the end. And every so often I'll check and stop to do that. But when you ask a question, if you will look down there in your chat feature, it says to all panelists or to all panelists and attendees. Make sure you set that chat to all panelists and attendees. That way everybody can see your question. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and we are going to get started. And welcome to Shibboleth. My name is Kim Danke. There are some keywords right here that you can text if you want to this number 31996. Don't worry about getting those down right now unless you want to do a screenshot on your phone or maybe what you're looking at. But this is going to be in a post this week, so you really won't have to worry about that. But they're real simple. Kimmy, Travis, and my Jason. Now before I turn that, I'm gonna tell you my story real quick. I think that one reason that I have done so well in this program is because I just follow the rules. I mean, Travis gives us some rules to follow, and I just follow them. And I make it a point to live within the guidelines that he gives, and that's just really, really important. And I'm just so thankful for it. I found it almost a year ago. I've lost 50 pounds. My goal was to lose 35 pounds, and I lost 50. So it's absolutely amazing how this program works. But now it is something that I have to focus on and do for the rest of my life. And that's what we need to know. We need to have something and know how to do something for the rest of our life. So I hope that you can turn into a rule follower if you're not a rule follower, and try to stick with the plan, because it will help you a lot. All right. So I'm going to boil this down tonight to things really, really simple. I like to do this. I used to be an elementary school teacher, and then I was an elementary school principal, and I like to just boil it down to simplicity, okay? There are two modes on Shibboleth, two modes. It's either weight loss or maintenance. That's it. There's only 3 differences between these two modes. One is the number of holidays that you get in a month. 2 is the way that you can eat fruit. And 3 is your mindset, okay? And there's so much to learn in this journey. I am still learning. I learned a lot last week, actually. And there's a lot to learn in this journey, but I just always point out the things that I know are the differences, but you may not understand what I'm talking about when I say mindset yet, because that mindset changes over time. It changes over time. So the differences between these are the number of holidays, how you eat fruit, and your mindset. There are only 2 types of days in Shibboleth, 2. Perfect days or holidays. Now, in Shibboleth, Travis is always keeping this program fresh for his members. He's always creating advanced programs for the members. But what I want you to focus on right now is none of that. So if you joined as a Tiger's Eye member, I don't want you to focus on that right now. And he doesn't either. He wants that to be an advanced program that you can work into, okay? So right now we're going to do perfect day or holiday. So when you see in your journal, if you are a higher level member than just a silver level member, you might see some other options that you can mark in your journal. Just focus on the perfect day and the holiday right now. You can work towards those other ones in the future if you choose to. But this is our basic program that I'm teaching tonight. Those other programs are excellent for as your mindset changes and you become more advanced. They're really good to walk into, but this is what we're going to focus on right now. So you either have a perfect day or a holiday. Okay, so this is one of the differences between weight loss and maintenance mode. You get up to 6 holidays in weight loss. When you are in the weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays. Now, what that means is in your profile, you need to have marked that you are in weight loss. And then when you journal on your journal tab, what you put in your journal transfers into a little icon in your timing chart. If you go over 6 holidays in a calendar month, and you get this little diet devil icon that we don't want. Okay, so make sure that you don't go over 6 holidays in a calendar month if you are in maintenance. Just to give you my tip, I plan out my holidays. So on the 1st of April, I will look at April and I will say, am I going out of town? And then after that, I ask, is there a birthday, a holiday, or another special day? So in April, I know I'm supposed to go to the beach for 5 days. So I'm going to use my holidays then just because that's when I like to do them. And I know there's Easter. So if I was in weight loss, those would be my 6 holidays. The rest of those days I would have as perfect days. If you are getting started tomorrow, you're getting started right now. First of all, the great news is if you're getting started tomorrow and you jump right in, I truly believe you could lose 7 pounds in 7 days by getting started tomorrow. But I'm looking at my calendar and we're mid-month. We're really mid-month right now. So if you are looking to plan 3 holidays for this month, plan your holidays for this month, I would only do 3 rather than 6, okay? Because you're kind of halfway through the month. But honestly, you might not want to plan any at all, because if you're in weight loss mode and you're wanting to accomplish a goal, holidays really aren't that important. So another thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to call a holiday a cheat day. It is not a cheat day. We do not cheat on this program. We have a holiday. Holidays are meant to be enjoyed, and they are purposeful, and they are there for a reason. So they are not a cheat day. They're a holiday, and that we can enjoy them. And then once you get into maintenance, you can change your mode in your in your profile to say maintenance, and that would give you up to 12 holiday little icons to show up in your timing chart. You wouldn't want to go over that once you get into maintenance. So now your question might be, what does it take to have a perfect day? So there are 5 components to a perfect day. 1 is you want to drink your water. 2 is you journal your food. 3 is you combine foods in a way that control insulin. That's a secret. Huge shibboleth secret right there. 4, portion control, and 5, timing. 1, 2, 3, and 4 must be hit in order for you to say you had a perfect day. Number 5 is ultra important, and it's great for optimization, but if you don't hit that one exactly right, it doesn't kick you out of having a perfect day, okay? But 1 through 4 you must hit to have a perfect day. It takes 2 perfect days to get into efficient fat burning, EFB. Those are going to be your 3 favorite letters around, EFB, efficient fat burning. Because see, you can burn fat or you can burn fat efficiently. It's better to burn it efficiently, and that's what Shibboleth teaches us how to do, burn it efficiently. So in your journal, when you journal your first perfect day, you are going to get a green check. On your second perfect day, in a row, okay, you're going to get another green check. On your third perfect day, you're going to be an EFB and you're going to get a flame, okay? So it's your third perfect day, but it's your first day in EFB. During these 2 days, we're getting rid of glycogen and insulin from our system to get ourselves into efficient fat burning, okay? Now what you want to do is you want to string together as many efficient fat burning days as you can, just string them along. And you know what? A holiday, whether it's unplanned or planned, is going to come. That's okay. You don't have to throw your hands up in the air and say, oh my goodness, I have to give up this program, I can't do it. No, what you do is you get right back to your perfect days. That's what makes this program sustainable, is that it has a plan for life, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over in a little bit more detail the components of the Shibboleth Shield. The Shibboleth Shield, Travis likes to call it the bulletproof shield, meaning if you follow this shield as you should, it's a bulletproof shield. It is a system that will help you do several things. 1, if you are trying to burn stored energy, see, fat's really just stored energy. So if you're trying to burn stored energy, you're going to do it. If you're trying to correct some medical or health numbers, you're going to do it, okay? So this is your bulletproof shield if you'll follow it. Component number 1 of a perfect day is to drink at least a half a gallon of water. A gallon is your goal, but the minimum amount to say that you've had a perfect day is 64 ounces, which is half a gallon, or I don't have one sitting here, but just one of those regular sized, 4 of those regular sized water bottles will get you that. But if you are working on getting up to that gallon, let me tell you, your body and your mind are very, very satisfied, and you will have a much easier time going from breakfast to lunch and lunch to dinner without snacking and other things, okay? Component number 2 of a perfect day is to journal. You've got to journal your food. The reason that you journal is because you will eat more mindfully rather than mindlessly. We eat more consciously rather than unconsciously. Journaling also helps you learn the program, and sometimes I've forgotten what I've eaten in a day, so I can look back and go, oh yeah, I've already had XYZ today, then no, I shouldn't have a snack or an extra, which I'll talk about those in just a second. But you want to journal your food. This is ultra, ultra important. Behavior modification is one of the most important things that I feel like I got out of this program. So journaling is quick and easy. You can journal on your phone in 2 ways, or you can journal on your computer. So you can journal on your computer at the website, but our website, you can save, I like to save anything that I visit regularly on my phone. I save it as a link on my home screen, and then I can easily get there and I can journal. But I also use the app for journaling on my phone too. The app is only 99 cents to download. It'll be worth every 99 pennies that you spend on it. And there's only 4 things on the app. The most important things are the journal, the food library, the recipe library, and the restaurant guide, because our website has so much stuff on it that it's too expensive to put in the app. So we have the most visited things on the app. I also want you to let you know, the app is not how you're going to learn the program. The app is just a tool. It's a tool for you to use for easy journaling and for easy access to information when you're out and about. But I still personally have saved the food library, the recipe library, and the restaurant guide as shortcuts on my phone to the actual website, because sometimes they display information differently and I might want to see it displayed the website way. So I save all of those on mine. If you need any help with this and you are near the Shibboleth Center in Kennesaw, just let me know. I can plan to meet you there one evening and I can fix your phone up. I love to help people get all this information at their fingertips so that they can easily access everything. Because I find that when you can easily access things, then you are much more likely to stick with it and access things often. Okay, so component 1 is to drink your water. Water, the reason you also drink your water is because a dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. And we need both of those things to be moving out of our body on a regular basis. And then obviously we need to journal our food. Component number 3 of a perfect day is to eat properly combined meals. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus. The fat bus is a funny term for something that is a serious and a real thing. The fat bus is what we've called insulin. Insulin is a hormone. It is a growth hormone. And the specific type of growth hormone that it is it's a fat storage hormone. And we don't want to store fat, we want to burn fat. So we need to learn how to control that hormone so that we can access stored fat rather than having easily accessible fat and things running around in our body, rather than being in a fat storage mode than a fat burning mode, okay? We're going to come back to this one. This is a biggie, so we're going to come back to this one. The component number 3 of a perfect day is eating properly combined meals. Component number 4 of a perfect day is to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. Now, a 6 to 8 inch plate, honestly, those inches really don't have anything to do with it. Your 2 hands have to do with it. You put your 2 hands together as closely as possible. You place your hands down over your food. As long as you can't see food sticking out around your hands, then you have portion control. You can do that on a 14-inch plate. You can do that on a 6 to 8 inch plate. But the 6 to 8 inch plate lets our mind think we've got a full plate, because a lot of times we just don't want to miss out on anything. We don't want to miss out on food, so it just needs to be eaten from a smaller plate for that visual. Now, that 6 to 8 inch plate, it does not mean the rim, okay? Doesn't mean the rim. It'd be the inner circle of that. But really, you're using your 2 hands. So we carry our measuring tools with us everywhere we go. You also don't want your the amount of your food to be thicker than the thickest part of your hand, okay? So then no thicker than the thickest part of your hand. Basically what that's saying is don't pile up your Thanksgiving plate, put your hands over it and say, I can't see it, but it's this high, okay? That doesn't work. But you have to also keep in mind that if you're eating something like a filet mignon that's really, really thick, and you know that's the thickest part of your hand, you just kind of have to imagine, I ordered a 6-ounce filet. It doesn't matter that it's thick, that it's thicker than the thickest part of my hand, because if I cut it in half, it would fit under here at no thicker, okay? And a steak is a protein plus fat, and if you know you've ordered about 6 ounces of that, that's plenty. And so that would be the right amount, even though it was thicker. Sometimes you have to use common sense. Okay, so component number 4 is portion control. The reason that we portion control is because 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories in it. In order to lose 1 pound of fat, we have to be in a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories. So in order to get in that calorie deficit, we have to eat less food, obviously. So if you're starting this program off and you're at 300 pounds and you want to be at 200 pounds, we have to start eating like a 200-pound person. So you just use your hands. Now, here's the great thing about hands. Hands are typically relative to the size of a person. And so if you're a smaller person, you're going to have smaller hands and you need to be eating smaller amount of food. So if you are just a taller person, then you're going to probably have bigger hands and you could get some more food. So that is just kind of a great general guideline for the amount of food. But we're trying to get into a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories. Now, all programs that are diets, which Shibboleth, by the way, is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. A diet is usually temporary, something that people won't stick with, and too restrictive. Shibboleth is a lifestyle because we make it doable. We also make it very, we don't exclude any macronutrients, so everything is available on it, and everything that you need comes from the grocery store, so that's awesome as well. But we supercharge our weight loss by revisiting component number 3, which is the combinations. So a lot of people can restrict calories. Restricting calories, you know, you might think, oh, I can restrict calories and lose weight, but we supercharge it by combining the food in the correct way and eating the calories no more than under here. But guess what? I'm mentioning calories to you, but I don't count calories. I just use the properly combined foods. I don't weigh, I don't measure, I don't count calories. I don't do any of that. I properly combine the foods and I use the 2-hand rule. That's it. It's really, really simple. And I'm glad about that because I don't really want to look at the labels and count calories and all that. Now, if you're more of a stickler and you like to do all of that, we can give you all the rules for that too if you like that. But I find this is just really easy to not have to do that. So those first 4 components, water, journaling, combining foods in a way that control insulin and don't bring the fat bus, and component number 4, portion control, those are the 4 that you have to hit to say you've had a perfect day. We're going to move on to component number 5, timing. That is the one that you don't have to necessarily hit to call it a perfect day, but it is extremely important, and we tell it to you for optimization purposes. Component number 5 is timing. We do have this timing rules, and these timing rules because we don't want to be grazing. Grazing is something that has gotten us to a point where we need to make a decision and make some moves to go back the other way. So grazing is for cows. Cows have 4 stomachs. They can graze. We have 1 stomach. We do not need to graze. By grazing, we are hurting our metabolism. And I want you to think about a car. So I do not know many people who fill their car up when that car is at 3/4 of the tank. I actually don't even know many people who fill their car up at half a tank. And about 1/4 of a tank, I know people start looking for gas, okay? But then you really don't get that gas till it's beeping at you and says 50 miles to empty and you're in the red and you are white knuckling it to the gas station, okay? So think about that. We shouldn't be refilling our body at 3/4 of a tank, in half a tank, in 1/4 of a tank. Fill our body once we need to, once we're hungry and we need to do that. But we need to put these rules into place. And you might be a little hungry while you're changing this. I don't want to tell you that you're not going to be hungry while doing this. Now, here's the great thing. Because we have very nutrient-dense foods, you're going to be less hungry. And if you choose some of our super filling meal replacements, you can be, less hungry too. But you might be a little hungry while you're trying to change these behaviors. But that's okay. That is that self-discipline muscle that we need to strengthen along with making these changes. So if you're a breakfast eater, we suggest that you eat breakfast within an hour or 2 of waking. If you are not a breakfast eater, you're just choosing not to have breakfast. You could just go to lunch and dinner, totally fine. You don't have to eat breakfast. That would be intermittent fasting, probably, depending on how many hours you did that. And intermittent fasting is good for you. But if you eat breakfast, eat it within an hour or 2 of waking, and then you can do lunch 4 to 6 hours later and dinner 4 to 6 hours later. And if you have to, set a timer on your phone and say, I'm playing beat the clock. I am not going to eat till X number of hours. And so you could do that and say, I'm going to eat at noon. So let's say that you ate at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to eat it till noon. Well, set your timer for 5 hours or set it for noon so it goes off and then you eat it, and then set your timer again. During that time, if you do get hungry, go to your water first. Go to your water first. Now, I want to tell you why we don't tell people exactly how to do this part, because everybody lives a different lifestyle. It'd be very difficult for us to say, eat your breakfast at 7, eat your lunch at noon, eat your dinner at 5, and then stop eating, because people live and work different hours and we cannot maintain and tell you exactly what to do. You have to know how to optimize it and then do what you can inside your waking hours or your eating window, whatever you want to call that. Now, we do have things called freebies, an extra, and a snack. We allow those in weak moments. And Travis calls it a mentally weak moment, because we really could make it from breakfast to lunch. We really could make it from lunch to dinner, and we could make it from dinner to bedtime without eating. We could. Okay. That's why it's a mentally weak moment, because we give in to certain things. And in the beginning, you could be hungry, like I mentioned. So you're after water, your best choice to go to would be freebies. I had a really good freebie last night because I was just trying new things from the Shibboleth store. This little thing right here, this was an Advanced Health System bouillon, chicken bouillon or something. It tasted like egg drop soup, and it was a freebie. It was really, really good. I like that. So I had that as a freebie last night. A lot of people have dill pickles as a freebie. Cucumbers are freebies. Anything 0 calorie is a freebie. Sugar-free Jell-O is a freebie. Egg whites, they're not 0 calorie, but egg whites are a freebie. So those are things that you could utilize if you were just really, really hungry between breakfast and lunch and dinner. So go to your water first, see if that satisfies first, and then do freebies. Freebies will be your first thing. You can get through the day with doing freebies. It's best not to go to an extra or a snack, but we do have those available. And I'd rather you have an extra or a snack and not give up a perfect day, like throwing up your hands and eat a bag of chips or something. I'd rather you go to something approved, okay? So an extra is just, basically it's a quantified freebie. It's so much of a freebie, or depending on what the item is, it's got enough calories in it that it doesn't qualify to be a freebie. So we have to call that an extra. You could do one extra in a day. Like I do a little Coco Ringa hot chocolate sometimes as an extra. If I eat at Chick-fil-A and I order their diet lemonade, that's an extra, because their diet lemonade is not 0 calorie. It has 50 calories in it. And so that is considered an extra. And then also the Choco Right peanut butter patties and the Choco Right milk chocolate pecan clusters, those are considered extras. One packet of those would be an extra. So it's just a little something. One packet of those has 2 patties in it. You could split one patty for earlier in the day and one patty for later in the day and give your tongue that taste, because a lot of times we are just wanting to eat something because we want to taste it with our tongue and our mind. And then you could go to a snack if you needed to. A snack is no more than 200 calories. These extras, they vary in calories. They're somewhere in between, let's say 30 to 90 calories, something like that. Our snacks are no more than 200 calories. Now, all of these things are in the food library. So when you go to the food library on the website, you can click on the freebies link. You can read all those things that are considered freebies. Write down what your favorites are. This is going to be an important exercise for you to do. Then go through the list of extras and write down what your favorites might be. And then go through the list of snacks and write down what your favorites might be. Now, let's visit these again, this freebies, extras, and snacks. Remember I said there was 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So we're trying to get into a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories. So let's just say you had so many freebies that they eventually added up to about 30 calories, okay? And then let's say you had an extra that was 70 calories. Well, that's 100 calories. Let's say you had a snack of 200 calories. That's 300 calories. So let's divide 300 into 3,500. That's 11.67. You are slowing yourself down and losing a pound of fat by 11 days. 11 days. I think I could give some of these things up to get rid of that pound of fat and to make it happen a lot faster, and it will. So that's why I was saying make water be your first freebie. See if that satisfies all that you need. Then go to freebies and try not to do an extra or a snack. But if you have to, in moments of mental weakness, I want to call it what it is, just like Travis does. you can use these things, okay? And it would still be considered a perfect day. It would still be considered a perfect day using those things. I hope you, if you got any questions about that, let me know, because I'm going to check Facebook real quick to see if we had anybody comment, and then I'm going to go back to component number 3. I hope I'm live on Facebook. Oops. Let's see, let's see. Yep, I'm live on there. Okay. All right. Nobody said anything on there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to component number 3. And we're going to talk about how to eat properly combined meals. In order to eat properly combined meals, you just need to learn that there are 7 categories of food. We categorize all whole foods into 7 different categories. One is a lean protein, and I'm going to give real simple things. Chicken breast. 2 is a fibrous carb, green beans. 3 is an energy carb, potatoes. 4 is a protein plus fat, steak. 5 is an antioxidant carb, also known as fruit. So all your fruits there. Category 6 is superfood. I'm going to give a few examples here of that because it really kind of encompasses a lot. All your nuts, your seeds, your nut butters, your seed butters, your avocados, things like that are in superfood. A food qualifies to be a superfood when it has all the macronutrients in it. So if a food has water in it, protein in it, carbs in it, and fat in it, all 4 of the macronutrients, if it has all 4 in there, then it's considered a superfood. And basically, you can just look at the website in the food library and see what qualifies to be a superfood, because you want to make sure that you combine these foods in the right way. And then category 7 is shellfish. Now, category 7, shellfish, and category 1, lean protein, are exactly the same thing. You can use them the exact same way, okay? It's just that shellfish got pulled off due to medical reasons and biblical reasons. Some people don't want to eat shellfish, therefore it is just pulled off on its own. In fact, I was helping a young lady yesterday at the store, and I took her combination chart and I drew a line through all of the combinations that had a 7 in it. So she didn't even have to mentally have that on her chart because she doesn't do shellfish. So if that's you, you can just draw a line through those. You don't even have to look at those. But if you do like shellfish, it's the same thing as a lean protein. So lean protein is one of those things that is really good for you. Protein is the building blocks of life, extremely important. So we want to make sure that we get enough protein in our meals. In fact, some of our meal replacements, the item by itself would be a snack, but we have to pair it with something like fat-free Fairlife milk or Kroger Carb Master milk or Healthwise hot chocolate sometimes to make sure it has enough protein in it. So if you ever see something that was a snack that's been combined with something else to make it a meal replacement, that's why, because it needs to have enough protein in it to qualify to be a meal replacement, that you could call it a meal rather than a snack. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 foods, categories, the 5 categories that you can eat by themselves. You can eat category 1, lean protein, by itself. You can eat category 2, fibrous carb, by itself. Protein plus fat, category 4, you can eat it by itself. Category 6, superfood, you can eat it by itself. And category 7, shellfish, you can eat it by itself. So there are 5 of the 7 categories that you can eat by themselves. Now I'm going to go back to category 4 right here. See this protein plus fat? This is where your whole eggs are, all your steaks, 4-meal turkey spam, pork ribs, chicken wings, all those kind of things are right there. So you can eat them by themselves, but it is best to eat it with a category 2 fibrous carb, okay? But you can eat it by itself. It's still good for fat burning to eat it by itself, but optimally you would eat it with a fibrous carb, okay? So let's talk about what you don't eat with a category 4. See this category 4, I'm going to just use steak as an easy example. Category 4, protein plus fat. you do not eat it with your category 3 energy carbs, your fruit, or your superfood. So category 4 does not get eaten with a category 3, category 5, or category 6. Here's why. I'm going to use the classic plate at a steakhouse. The classic plate at a steakhouse is a steak and baked potato. So when you put that steak on your plate, do you know that eating the steak is not a problem? That is a great protein for you, and there is nothing wrong with the fat in it. It's a good fat, and our brain and our body needs some fat. Okay, so that's really not the problem. The problem was that the steak got paired with the potato or the French fries, whatever type of potato you ordered. Tater tots, sweet potato, any of it, all potatoes, not just white potatoes. But what happens is when you eat a protein plus fat with a potato, the potato brings an insulin release. Remember, we call insulin the fat bus. It does its job. Insulin's job is to pick up fat and store it. So insulin comes out at that time and it says, yay, let me go see what's out here. There's fat out here. Let me pick that up and store it. That's what it does. And it stores fat for up to 2 days. That's why it requires 2 days for us to get back into efficient fat burning, because all that insulin has to dissipate and go out of our body. So if we are eating this protein plus fat with a potato, first of all, too, that potato is not reasonably sized. These potatoes are huge. So it brings a very large insulin release, and therefore it's just going to store that fat. Now, let's imagine that now you know this information. You go to the steakhouse and you go, okay, I'm going to have a perfect meal. I'm going to order that steak, but I'm going to order it with the broccoli instead. So you eat the steak with the broccoli. You still have eaten a great protein for yourself, and you still have these fat lipids roaming around in your body, but you did not bring an insulin release. Therefore, those little fat lipids get used up as the energy that you need just to be living and walking around and doing life. Those fats are going to get burned up and not stored because you chose to eat them with broccoli. Is that not amazing? Once I learned those secrets, I just absolutely love eating my broccoli with steak now at the steakhouse. And I also found out that broccoli is very, very good at most places. So if you like broccoli, have that. But you could do their side salad, their green beans, their vegetable medley, all of those things. Just don't pair it with something that's going to bring an insulin release. If you choose to pair it with something that is going to bring an insulin release, I want to tell you, it's a holiday, and holidays aren't bad. Maybe that's that day that you go out for your birthday or you go out for your anniversary and you choose to have the steak with the potato. Enjoy it. Enjoy every bite of it, okay? It's just a holiday, and that's the beauty of this program. You can have what you want to have. It just depends on what day you're having it. That's just considered a holiday, and you get 6 to use in weight loss, okay? So that's the good news. Now, let's say that you want to have a little bit of potato. Let me tell you how to do that. So let's say you want to have some of that. You're going to do about 1/4 cup of it. I know that doesn't sound like much, but we are trying to, 1, control our portions, and 2, we don't want such a huge insulin release that what we do choose to pair with it can't have an impact on it, okay? So we're going to have maybe 1/4 cup. So I like to say that it's going to fit right under here. It's going to fit under here on this side. It's going to fit right there, about 1/4 cup of potatoes. But if you want to eat some potatoes, you must eat it with a category 1 lean protein and a category 2 fibrous carb. That's a must and an and. So if you're going to eat the potatoes, you must have it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So what that plate might look like is chicken breast under here, your potatoes under here, and maybe your green beans or whatever you choose under here. That would be a category 1, which is your chicken breast, your category 2, which is your green beans, and category 3, which is your protein plus fat. That is a great meal. Now watch what's going to happen in this meal. You didn't eat any fat, okay? So this little bit of an insulin release, you hadn't given it any fat to go collect, which is good, okay? But what you did do, because this does bring a little bit of an insulin release, it's not magically not going to bring an insulin release. It does bring a little bit of one, but you didn't eat so much that it was that large of an insulin release. And by pairing these together, you're allowing the protein in the lean protein and the fiber in the fibrous carb to attenuate or neutralize the insulin release from this energy carb or those potatoes. It's science. Is that not amazing? I absolutely love knowing that if I pair the right foods together, then my body stays in efficient fat burning. The reason you want to stay in efficient fat burning is so that your body, when it needs energy, accesses stored energy rather than easily accessible energy, okay? So we want to make sure that we stay in EFB. So let's go right back down here to fruit. Let's say that you want to eat some fruit, because remember I said you don't eat fruit with a category 4, but you also, eating 3 or 5, remember those were the only 2 that I skipped when I was saying that you couldn't eat them by themselves. You don't want to eat 3s or 5s by themselves in weight loss. I'll go into maintenance on the fruit in just a second, but you don't want to eat 3s or 5s by themselves in weight loss. So if you want to eat a 3, it has to be eaten with a 1 or a 2. Same thing with a 5. If you want to have some fruit, you can have about a half a cup of fruit. Let's say you want to have some blueberries. Do about half a cup of blueberries, and then maybe you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet. The egg whites would be this lean protein, the spinach would be the fibrous carbs, and then you've got you some berries. That's a delicious breakfast. So you've got an egg white spinach omelet with some berries. You can do that. That is going to do the same thing as this. This is going to bring a little bit of an insulin release, but if you choose berries, it's the best fruit that you can choose. Any berries are the best fruit that you can choose. And then you're going to pair it with the egg whites, which is your protein, and the spinach, which is your fibrous carb. So that is going to neutralize the insulin release from the fruit. And then in maintenance, once you get into maintenance, you can eat a serving of fruit by itself as a snack if you want to, but that's in maintenance. So you just have to treat fruit differently while you're in weight loss. It's important to know that fruit is great for you. We don't want you to not eat fruit. Fruit is an antioxidant carb, and antioxidant carbs are good. They go around and they pick up free radicals, and free radicals damage our cells. So fruit's good for you. All those colors are good for you. But in weight loss, we just have to know the science behind it and know that we need to eat it a certain way. Once you get into maintenance, you can have a serving of fruit by itself as a snack. So let's look at this category 6 superfood. What you don't want to eat this category 6 superfood with is a 3, 4, or 5. And the reason you don't do that is, remember how I said this superfood has all the macronutrients in it? Well, because it's got more carbs in it and it's got more fat in it than your protein and your fibrous carb and your shellfish and stuff, you have to just treat it a little bit differently. So you just don't eat it. You wouldn't want to add something that's got carbs in it to a carb. That's why you don't eat it with a 3. And you don't want to do something that has carbs in it like this with your protein plus fat, because then it'll go collecting the fat. And this has got carbs in it, and this is carbs. So this is going to bring an insulin release. This is too. Superfood, just a little bit, because it's got a little bit of carbs in it, but it's also got enough protein in it and it's got fat in it. So you just have to treat that one a little bit differently. But you can eat it with your lean proteins, you can eat it with your fibrous carbs, and you can eat it with your shellfish. You just don't want to eat a 6 with your 3, 4, or 5. And I hope that makes sense. But let's talk about the things you can eat together. So your category 1 lean protein, let's say that you wanted to have some chicken here and some shrimp here. You could do that. And let's say that you wanted to have some steak here and some chicken here. You can do that. So steak and shellfish, or steak and chicken breast, can be eaten together. I got a question. Yes, Lori. If you have a category 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is perfect. Yes, yes. So your category 1 plus 2 plus 3 would be perfect. Your fastest fat burning meal is a 1 and a 2 or a 7 and a 2. That is your fastest fat burning meal. But 1 plus 2 plus 3 would be perfect. 7 plus 2 plus 3 would be perfect. And when I say plus, I don't mean there's any addition or anything like that. It just means that we're just putting those together on the plate. It's sort of like category 7 and a category 2 and a category 3 together. Anything that is listed on the combination chart, your combination chart is in one of the blue tabs right above all the Fast Track videos. So anything that's listed there in the combination is considered perfect. So I'm going to move on from here, but we're going to talk more about this tomorrow night. And then on the next page, we're going to look at some other things as well. So you want to learn the rules of combining. So I just kind of went over the rules of combining right there, but also screenshot the combination chart. Print the combination chart out. Put it on your refrigerator. Have it handy. Have it with you, okay? So there's some hard and fast rules that I just went over, so you'll want to make sure that you know those and learn the categories. I went around in my car and in my house and in the shower going, category 1, lean protein, category 2, fibrous carb, category 3, energy carb. You want to spend some time learning those things. What you need to do is you need to write down your favorite foods, because this program allows you to eat your favorite foods. It just has to be combined in a certain way, or maybe if it's not a whole food, maybe it's a product like bread or something, you might have to switch over to a different bread or a different tortilla, but you've got to write down your favorite foods. Once you've written down your favorite foods, go to the food library and look them up. Then write next to them what category they are. Then look at the combination chart and go, ooh, I really like to eat black beans. Those are a category 6 superfood. Category 6 superfood, it can be eaten by itself. It can be combined with a category 2. It can be eaten with a lean protein, which is a category 1, and it can be eaten with shellfish, which is a category 7. So when you find out the category that your foods are in, the foods you like are in, look at your combination chart and you just figure out what you can eat with that. This is not hard. It's not hard at all, but you have to do the work where you would determine that what food is your favorite and what goes together. You determine your favorite meals, because that's important. So familiarize yourself with the chart. That's important. In the beginning, please keep it super, super simple, because you want to do the fastest fat burning meals. The fastest fat burning meals are category 1 lean protein with 2 fibrous carb cooked in MCT, or category 7 shellfish with a fibrous carb cooked in MCT. Then embrace a meal replacement. After that, you can start branching out into the recipes and all of that, but keep it really, really simple in the beginning. You're going to have the fastest weight loss. You're going to learn the combinations better, then branch out. So one of the reasons I also think that I have been successful and have continued to maintain the weight loss is because I've embraced a meal replacement. I didn't even know what a meal replacement was before Shibboleth. What a meal replacement is it's that thing that makes me feel like I'm eating a candy bar, but I'm really just eating some delicious, nutrient-packed item. So meal replacements, this is where chocolate comes back into my life. I can do a chocolate protein shake that is so good. I can do the chocolate grab the gold bars, the chocolate power crunch bars, the Health Wise hot chocolate, the Cocoa Ringa. I mean, there's so many things. Meal replacements, to me, make this program so doable. If I want chips, I can eat the Quest chips. I can eat the Health Wise chips. There's tons. If I want a cracker, I'm going to do the fibrous carb, the Fiber Gourmet crackers. So embrace your meal replacements. And the reason I say that is because we're all busy. Every single one of us is busy, and I do not pretend to believe that everybody is going to cook a 1 + 2 + MCT 3 times a day. We're busy. So throw in a Mighty Muffin for breakfast, and then maybe you make yourself a simple sandwich for lunch, and maybe for dinner you make yourself something a little bit more elaborate, or whenever it is that you have time to cook, switch those out. These meal replacements too are really great for throwing in your bag when you leave for the day, so that you can have a perfect lunch. My favorite meal replacement for lunch is the oatmeal protein pie. That oatmeal protein pie makes me happy to eat it, and I do not feel like I'm missing out on anything where I might be with a group of people who are eating from a buffet, or they're, because I go to a lot of luncheons, and then, or maybe some people are going out to lunch. I pull out that oatmeal protein pie and eat it, and I don't feel like I've missed out on anything. In fact, I look forward to eating it. It's that good. So embrace a meal replacement. Find some that you like. There is an entire link on there in the food library about meal replacements. Also in the Fast Track group, there's my favorite 10 meal replacements. In that, they can be easily ordered from the Shibboleth store, or if you're near Dalton or Kennesaw, you can come get them in person, okay? This right here, when I first wrote this, I said that a category 4 must be eaten with a category 2, but that's actually incorrect. You can eat a category 4 by itself, but optimally you'd eat it with a category 2. But down here, this is really, really important. When you're at a restaurant, you must consider all meat a category 4. So let's say you're going to go to the restaurant and you say, I want to order some chicken because I want to get a lean protein. You just have to consider that a category 4, and here's why. We don't know the oil that they cooked it in. Therefore, it is no longer a lean protein. It's a lean protein plus fat because they cooked it in an oil that's probably not approved. So you could ask them to dry grill it, but I still, just to keep yourself safe and not accidentally bring the fat bus, I would consider all meat a category 4. The reason that you do that is because then that determines what you're going to order. At a restaurant, you would then only order a category 2 fibrous carb. So it might be a side salad with approved dressing. It could be broccoli or cauliflower, vegetable medley, something like that. So consider all meat at a restaurant a category 4. This is why this is important. Because you might think, I heard Kim say, and I've seen on the combination chart, that a category 1 plus a category 2 plus a category 3 is a perfectly combined meal, and it is. So you might think, I'm going to order chicken, I'm going to order broccoli, and I'm going to order potato. Problem is, there's the fat that they've cooked into that lean protein. That's when you eat that potato with it, is going to go and collect that fat. All right, so that's why you want to consider all meat at a restaurant a category 4. That'll tell you, don't order the potato with it, order the vegetable medley. If you want all those things to be on your plate and taste them all together, that is the meal better for home. Okay, this is important. Medium chain triglyceride. MCT oil. We highly recommend the MCT oil that we sell at our store, okay? It has been optimized for cooking. If you are looking to write down a little grocery list of things that you might want to get from the store, I would highly suggest our Zero Drag MCT oil and add that to your list of things to get, because that's one of those things that you need. I cook my food in this. If I have a recipe that calls for oil, I use that. If you're wanting to air fry maybe some fried okra, you can spritz it with this and air fry it or cook it in the oven. And MCT is thermogenic, so it helps burn a little extra calories too. So the oils that we say that you can use, number 1 is the MCT oil. Any MCT oil that you get that says 100% MCT oil, you can use it. But we like the one in our store. And it's not that we're just trying to sell it. You're free to order whatever one you want or buy whatever one you want. But this one has been optimized for cooking. And in fact, I've looked at the calorie count on a lot of other ones. A tablespoon of our Zero Drag MCT oil only has 100 calories in it, where most other MCTs have 130 calories in it. I don't know if that has to do with the maximizing it. It's been prepared for cooking or not. I don't know. But it does, and we aren't looking to add extra calories. So if you can get the Zero Drag MCT, but any of it, it says 100% MCT is fine. Your second choice can be coconut oil, which is 60% MCTs. You could also do hemp oil, and we don't sell that in the store, but you could do a hemp oil. You could also do ghee butter, which is spelled G-H-E-E. That is a clarified butter. It's taken real butter, clarified it, and once you clarify that butter, there's more MCTs in it. That's why it works. A lot of people use that when they're wanting that butter flavor. Maybe when they're making some shrimp scampi, they could do the ghee butter. And then of course you can use 0-calorie cooking spray like Pam or something like that. But let's talk about this MCT and why it is so important. So remember how I said the fastest fat burning combination is a 1 plus a 2 and cooked in MCT, or a 7 and a 2 cooked in MCT. The reason the MCT gives us this supercharging effect is because it's thermogenic. It helps burn extra calories, okay? So that's why it's the fastest fat burning meal. There's some important things I want to tell you about it. One, you want to make sure that you cook it on low to medium heat, because if you cook it on a higher heat, it will set off your smoke detector, and we don't want to have that happen. So you've been warned, we don't want to set off your smoke detector. Cook it on low to medium heat. The other thing is, just the fact that I have to say that statement shows you right there that it burns up quickly. And why it works for us in weight loss is that it has almost no propensity to be stored on the body as fat, because it burns up like that. And so if we do ingest it, it's not going to get stored. It burns up. Now let's compare this to what we used to use. We were probably, and you may still have in your cabinet currently right now, especially if you're new, you may have in your cabinet an olive oil, a canola oil, a vegetable oil. Those things are LCTs, long chain triglycerides. Long chain triglycerides, as the name indicates, is a longer wick. Okay, if we want to just kind of use that as a way to visualize, it's a longer wick. And so it takes a long time to burn up. It doesn't burn up like this. This burns up fast. So that is one of those things. Remember how I said don't give yourself easily accessible energy? Long chain triglycerides are an easily accessible energy. MCT oil burns up so fast that when your body needs energy, it has to go to stored energy, which is fat, to burn it. But if you're doing LCTs, your body, just like humans, are going to take the path of least resistance. It's going to go to that long chain triglyceride, which is your an easily accessible energy that you've possibly given it, and it doesn't get to the stored energy that we need to burn. Think about that right there. All the times that you've possibly tried to lose weight and you're using olive oil and you just can't get rid of any stored energy, that's because olive oil is a long chain triglyceride and it takes forever to burn up, and we don't ever get to the stored fat that we're trying to get rid of. Is that not just a wow moment to you? That was such a wow moment to me. So MCT oil is really, really important to use. Let me make sure I did not miss anything. MCT. Oh yes, this is important. You've heard me say that MCT oil is good. What you are not hearing me say is you are not hearing me say to use it as a supplement, and you are not hearing me say to put it in coffee and make bulletproof coffee. We don't do that. You use it for the purpose of cooking or in a recipe. But we don't just add random calories to our diet via taking it as a supplement or making bulletproof coffee with it. So it is used for the purpose of cooking. All right, we're getting down to the end. Just don't bring the fat bus. The fat bus is category 3s and category 5s. If you want to eat a category 3 or a category 5, it must be combined with a category 1 and a 2, or a 7 and a 2. So you just don't bring the fat bus. If you bring the fat bus, it's just called a holiday. Mark it as a holiday and get back to your perfect days ASAP, okay? After a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. So let's say that you've been journaling and then you have a look at your timing chart. Your very beginning timing chart is going to have 2 green checks. And then your third perfect day is going to have that flame, that EFB flame. You're going to string as many efficient fat burning days together. So you're going to have this little flame go along, okay? Then when you have a holiday, it's a little smiley face guy with a mask. He's going to show up, okay? Then after that, you get right back to your perfect days again. You're going to see 2 green checks after you've had 2 perfect days. On that third perfect day after a holiday, you're back into EFB. Then you just string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can. So one of the best things about Shibboleth is that we don't tell you exactly what to eat. We tell you the combinations in which to eat the food, but You don't have to eat anything on this program you don't like to eat. You get to choose for yourself. But that also is the part where people go, oh my goodness, I have to choose for myself. Well, this is the act that you do. Make yourself a list of your favorite 10 lean proteins. If you are brand new in this program, your dashboard, if you go to your dashboard in your account and you go to the food library, it's not going to be that giant food library. It's going to be a little scrolling list of just a small amount of lean proteins, a small amount of fibrous carbs. So instead of going into the big list, just look at those smaller lists and say, what are my favorite 10 lean proteins? What are my favorite 10 fibrous carbs? And if you like shellfish, you can include those in your lean proteins. Then you're just going to mix and match together the category 1 and category 2. If you've made yourself a list of 10 lean proteins and a list of 10 fibrous carbs, it is really just like grabbing your pencil like you were in elementary school and drawing a line from, I'm going to have some chicken with some broccoli. I'm going to have some egg whites with some spinach. I'm going to have some turkey breast with some okra. It's as simple as that. Cook that up in some MCT oil and you've got your fastest fat burning meals. But then throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. In the new member fast track group, you are going to see exactly what I ate for the first 20 days. And I want you to know it is not a magical list of food. But I did lose 12.5 pounds in that first 20 days. So, but I ate about 30 Mighty Muffins. Mighty Muffins are a delicious meal replacement. And while I was just trying to figure this whole thing out, I made life easy on myself and I would eat Mighty Muffins. I liked them and they were good and they helped me lose weight. So check out those Mighty Muffins too. Mighty Muffins are sold at Walmart and Kroger and stuff like that, but they don't have the variety that the Shibboleth store has. We carry a larger variety, but they are sold at other grocery stores as well. Last but not least, I want you to know of all of the sources of support that you have. Please take advantage of all of these support avenues. We have an amazing support system on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, please make sure that you join the Silver Level group, the Shibboleth Fixed It group, and any other groups that you are. If you're a gold member, join the gold level. If you're Tiger's Eye, join that. And then we have an amazing website. If you'll watch those little videos that I put out each day this week, you'll learn how to do the website. We have free mentor appointments. After you hop off of here, I really want you to schedule your mentor appointment. I know you might be thinking, well, I don't need a mentor appointment. Just schedule it and experience a mentor appointment. But schedule it for next week, not this week. Focus in on the fast track this week. But you want to schedule your appointment next week because they do get booked up. Then after you've done fast track, if you have any questions, you can ask them. You can ask them. Focus in on the fast track this week and you will learn how to do this program. And then we just stick with it. We stick with it. We stick together. We are a community of people that are going to do this together. If you will like the Shibboleth public page on Facebook, I go live there Monday through Friday just to encourage us all. And there's a great group of people that follow us, that follow me there, and we encourage each other every morning. So we would love for you to be a part of that. I see a question. Okay, so Laurie Jackson, is it okay to have more than one of each category as long as portions are correct? Yes, specifically with the fibrous carbs and it's the category 3s and 5s that you still might not want to have more than one of, okay? Because let's say on the category 3, you're really not wanting to have more than quarter of a cup. A quarter of a cup isn't really much at all. So, I mean, if you did a little bit of potatoes, it'd be like 1/8 of a cup of potatoes and 1/8 of a cup of, let's just say, lima beans. That really isn't that much. But yes, you can have more than one of each category as long as the portions are correct, but I wouldn't do that with my 3s and my 5s. I would do that with my other foods. So let me just give you an example. let's say you're making yourself a little wrap, okay, a sandwich wrap or a sandwich. So that if you choose a category 2 fibrous carb bread or wrap, you put some lean protein sandwich meat in there, and maybe you put in a condiment amount of cheese. I didn't even talk about condiments tonight. Y'all come back tomorrow night for condiment talk, because condiments are important. If you put all that on your plate, you could then have a category 2 fibrous carb cracker, and that would work. So that would be 2 category 2s. So yes, you can. So I hope that makes sense, Lori. It's just that we want to be careful with those 3s and 5s and not really have more than one of those. But I hope that y'all have enjoyed tonight. Please focus in on that group this week, and y'all can have great success. I really believe you can lose 7 pounds in 7 days and get this done, because it's not hard at all. I hope you're excited. I'm excited to have you on board. Bye, y'all. You're welcome, Jennifer. You're welcome, everybody.